My name is Carol Bruggeman. I'm the NFCA Executive Director. At this time, it's my great pleasure to welcome to the stage the head coach at the University of Missouri and your current NFCA President, Larissa Anderson.
Good evening and welcome to our convention's premier event, the 2024 NFCA Hall of Fame banquet. The NFCA Hall of Fame is the highest honor awarded to an individual in our profession, and we are excited to celebrate and honor the accomplishments of these three deserving individuals this evening. We begin tonight's program with a celebration of our sport through recognition of our current Hall of Fame members in attendance with the Hall of Fame March. From the class of 1993, from Cal State Fullerton, Judy Garman. From the class of 1995, from the University of Central Oklahoma, Dr. Jerry Pinkston. From the class of 1996, for the University of Arizona, Mike Candrea. From the class of 1998, from Texas Women's University, Diane Baker. From the class of 2001, from UC Riverside, Cindy Bristow. From the class of 2003, from St. Louis Community College, Merrimack, Celeste Cunirum. And from Florida State University, Dr. Joanne Graff. From the class of 2006, from the University of Michigan, Carol Hutchins. From the class of 2007, from Central College, George Wares. From the class of 2009, from Hofstra University, Bill Edwards. From the class of 2010, from the University of Nebraska, Rhonda Revelle. From the class of 2011, from the University of Tennessee, Ralph Weekly. From the class of 2012, from the University of Oklahoma, Patty Gasso. From the class of 2013, from Minnesota State University, Lori Meyer. From the class of 2014, from the University of Alabama in Huntsville, Les Studerman. Also from the class of 2014, from SUNY Cortland, Junie Leinhart. From the class of 2016, from the University of Utah, Mona Stevens. From the class of 2017, from Ashland University, Sheila Goulis. From the class of 2018, from the University of Tennessee, Karen Weekly. From the class of 2019, from Northern Illinois and the NCAA, Dee Abrahamson. From the class of 2020, from Williams College, Chris Herman. From the class of 2020-21, that was a lot. From the class of 2021, from Wisconsin Eau Claire, Leslie Huntington. From the class of 2022, from Sheldon High School, Mary Jo Truesdale. And from the University of Pittsburgh, Jenny Allard. From the class of 2023, from Rowan University, Kim Wilson. And from the NFCA, Carol Bruggeman. So this has been a moment you've all been waiting for. Please welcome our class of 2024 Hall of Fame inductees. From the University of Texas, retired head coach Connie Clark. From Augustana University, head coach Greta Milstead. And from the University of Florida, head coach Tim Walton.
Okay, tonight we get to celebrate 3 people in our game who have left their mark as competitors, innovators, mentors, teachers, coaches, leaders, and winners. And for all of us in this room, as we celebrate Connie, Greta, and Tim, we also have an opportunity to celebrate our history, our softball community, and all that it stands for, and how, as we move our game forward and we continue to make memories together. Now it's time to induct our newest members into our Hall of Fame. Leading off is Connie Clark, retired head coach from the University of Texas. Over the course of her legendary career at the helm of Texas softball, Connie Clark posted 873 wins and led the Longhorns to 5 Women's College World Series appearances, including the 1998 squad that became the youngest program to ever reach the Women's College World Series after earning the opportunity in just the second year of the program. Listen, you can cheer for yourself if you were on that 1998 team. Go ahead and cheer for yourself right now. That's right. In 22 seasons under Clark, the Longhorns appeared in 19 NCAA regionals while earning 4 Big 12 regular season and tournament championships. The 3-time Big 12 Coach of the Year mentored 105 All Big Ten Conference selections, 74 NFCA All-Region selections, 29 NFCA All-Americans, 7 Big 12 Freshmen of the Year. That's some good recruiting, Connie. 5 Big 12 Pitchers of the Year, 2 Big 12 Players of the Year, 3 USA Softball Collegiate Players of the Year, and 2 Honda Awards for softball. Wow. Additionally, Clark coached 9 national and junior national team members, including Kat Osterman, 2004, 2008, 2020, and Krista Williams, 1996 and 2000, both winning gold medals. At this time, please enjoy this video highlighting the career of Connie Clark.
Clark began her softball playing career as a pitcher at Central Arizona Junior College under the head coach Mike Candrea, who played an essential role in shaping the rest of her playing and coaching career. She led her team to the National Junior College Athletic Association championships both in '84 and '85. She then transferred to Cal State Fullerton in 1986. She ended her first year as a pitcher at 20-2 and led the Titans to the Women's College World Series. The following year, in 1987, she won the Honda Collegiate Women's Sports Award as the nation's top softball player. Soon after this, she began her coaching career at Florida State as an assistant coach from 1990 to 1995. As an assistant, she helped build the Seminoles into a national softball power and helped lead Florida State to 4 appearances in the NCAA Women's College World Series and to 5 NCAA regional trips. Following her stay at Florida State, Connie Clark would make the move to Texas, building the softball program there from the ground up.
I had done a lot of research when we got ready to hire our first real full-time softball coach here. And Connie Clark's name consistently came up as someone who was ready to be a head coach. She also knew what she was in for. She had a vision about what she wanted to build. And I think from the very first day, she knew the kinds of athletes that she wanted to recruit for the University of Texas to build a foundation of a softball program.
Since its ascension to varsity status in 1997, Texas has emerged as one of the most dominant softball programs in the nation under Clark. In 22 seasons at the helm of the varsity program, she led Texas to 5 College World Series appearances, 19 NCAA tournament appearances, 4 Big 12 Conference tournament titles, and 4 Big 12 regular season titles. In fact, Texas's appearance in the 1998 College Women's World Series was just in its second varsity season, and it still ranks as the quickest arrival at the NCAA Division I Softball Elite Eight in the history of the sport. In 2003, Clark's Longhorns became the first ever team to win both back-to-back Big 12 regular season titles and back-to-back Big 12 championship tournament titles. Connie is just a soulful, wonderful person, a good person, and she's very genuine and authentic. And I think from a perspective of being a fellow staff member, Connie was just so kind and good to everybody. She was intense and directed and focused, but she knew how to treat people. And I can imagine that came across in her hiring of staff and assistants. I imagine it came across in recruiting.
Coach Clark was always sort of the glue that kept us all together. She was so gracious in having us back and wanted us to share with the current team and the current players and be around them of how things were and what the excellence was from the very beginning and the standard, and that standard was set, even back in 95, 96 and still carries on today.
Literally took a chance on me. Not only was she essentially done recruiting, but she gave me a chance, and based on that decision, changed the entire course of my life, if you will. Let's say Connie says no, not only do I lose some of the best friends I have that I made at college, I met my husband there, I've got 2 kids, all of these things beyond the softball field literally kind of sit under Coach Clark giving me an opportunity.
But again, I think she had lived that experience as a student athlete herself at an elite level. And I imagine that she was very convincing in a home visit or on the recruiting trail, as well as the ability to build a team and explain to a group how to pull in the same direction for the common good. It was a new experience at Texas.
It wasn't so this is only business. It was very much business plus family, business plus I want you to be a good person. I want you to be a great student. I want you to, be involved in the community and all those things, which I think made us, more well-rounded as student athletes, which I really appreciated.
I'm walking into the dugout and she actually full embrace hugs me, hand behind the neck, her head. And, she would give us hugs and kind of the pats on the back. But I remember that hug because it was it was the signal of I know you left it all out there for us. That's what I went to Texas to do. I went to Texas to be a Texas girl, to drive us as close as we could to a national championship, and fell a little short. But at the end of the day, that moment was the culmination of, 5 years if you count my red shirt, but 5 years of blood, sweat, and tears together with her.
Coach Clark, this is a well-deserved honor. We are so proud of you. You set the standard for Texas softball, and I know I speak on behalf of all the alumni when I say that we're super proud of you, and it's a well-deserved honor. Congrats, Coach.
Best friends that I would never trade for the world, on and off the field. Best coaching staff, best university, simply because she took a chance. So I would wrap that up just to say thank you for taking a chance.
Thank you for the opportunity from a small town kid that never really had eyes on Texas. And I'm really glad that you came into my life and you made sure that I didn't go to Baylor. So thank you for that.
Thank you. I dreamt of wearing burnt orange. I asked my dad if he thought I'd be good enough to walk on at Texas. That's how bad I wanted to wear burnt orange. And obviously, I developed a little bit better than that. But thank you for making every dream I could have imagined come true.
That dream that Connie had early on is one that we will benefit from this point forward because our program is well recognized. We're nationally ranked. We played in the College World Series. We've achieved the highest awards and recognition that one can achieve in a sport. And Connie started that, and she's responsible for where we are today. And we can never say thank you enough or congratulations enough, Connie, for your recognition as an inductee into the Softball Hall of Fame.
Let's welcome to the podium 2024 NFCA Hall of Fame inductee, Connie Clark.
Welcome. Woo. Yeah. Wow. I reached out to Carol Bruggeman, I don't know, 6 months ago, and just said, man, can you share some advice? Like, you know, you went in last year. She's our president. She's got a lot of wise things to share, and she just said, I'll tell you what, it's going to be emotional. And now it's sinking in. So it's absolutely emotional. Thank you for the video. Thank you for the kind words. A few people asked me, had I seen the video? And I said, no, I wanted to wait until tonight. I'm rethinking that decision because that's where the emotions are starting. But whew, thank you for the kind words. Yeah, we'll get it underway. And the video production for UT as well. They're some of the best in the business. So thank you, and thank you to the athletes and Jody and Chris, and just the kind words. I really, really appreciate it. Kat, you should have brought me some Kleenex with that. I guess really, you know, good evening officially. I'll stop rambling, but first of all, I really, really just want to thank God. And I'd like to start with a verse. I'd like to start with a verse that resonates with me from the book of Isaiah that can get us started down this path tonight. Chapter 30, verse 21. And when you turn to the right or turn to the left, your ears shall hear a word behind you saying, this is the way, walk in it. And I believe this. I think we've all been given a unique path. And as I continue to follow my heart's wisdom along this journey, God's clear voice always leads me to situations and opportunities that match my soul. And softball has put me on a road which led to this evening. And for this, I'm beyond grateful. So again, thank you, God. And just a wee bit right under God, I want to thank the NFCA selection committee. But for this amazing honor and the people that fought on my behalf. And I can't say thank you enough. I'm going to try to talk about y'all, but thank you for writing letters and honoring me. I really am. I'm truly humbled and a bit emotional about it all, as you can tell. I really also would like to congratulate Greta and Tim. I feel privileged to be going in with y'all. I really do. We all seem to be real happy about our order, too. I'm super happy to be first. I don't know why Greta's happy to be in the middle and Tim wants to bring home the rear, I guess. But I am privileged. So, I'm also a firm believer I would not made it to this stage without being guided by strong voices and a support system which has helped shape my journey along the way. Thank you doesn't seem to be enough. However, I'm going to try to shine a light on these special people and introduce you to the cast of amazing characters that I've had the pleasure to meet and work with along the way. I have to start with the former coaches, which I had the privilege to play for, because, as you all know, as well as anyone, an impact of a coach can be potentially life-changing. The coaches I was blessed to play for absolutely influenced my coaching career and my style. Ed McQuaid, Dave Smith were my high school coaches at Greenway High School in Phoenix, where I grew up. Coach McQuaid was our head coach. He was data-driven before I think it was a thing. He never sugarcoated his opinions, which I appreciated much later. And to this day, just remembers all the nitty-gritty details about games back in the 80s. Now that I live back in Arizona, I connect with him for a beer now and again, and I just really always enjoy his stories and continue to count him amongst my blessings. Coach Smith was my pitching coach, and oh my God, I hit the jackpot. Getting to work with someone who shared the nuances of pitching from a personal perspective because he was a pitcher himself. I honed so many lessons from him. One memory that continues to make me smile whenever I think about it, and I'm sure some of the pitching coaches in here have done the same, but he would literally make me stay after practice. He would stand in the batter's box, and I had to learn to own the inside half of the plate, or learn to throw chin music, as he called it. And I couldn't leave practice until I mastered that location. So I really, really miss him. I really wish, someone had an old recording of our trash talk in between those pitching sessions as well, because it would be priceless. I really held on to many of what I would say his coachisms and pass them along to my athletes through the years. He was a true gem, and I know he's smiling down on us tonight. So here I was 17 years old and really unsure what to do next. Coach McQuaid and Coach Smith had discussed collegiate softball options with me, but nothing felt quite right until one day after practice my senior year, an athlete from Central Arizona Junior College approached me and talked to me about this little powerhouse program in Casa Grande. She told me they have this hot shot coach named Mike Candrea. Yeah, Where are you, Coach? Yeah, there you are. But anyway, this hotshot coach named Mike Candrea, and that we were going to be pretty damn good. I asked her, why she was there instead of him, and I think she said, maybe he's at a barbecue or something. I think that, that was back when recruiting might have been just a little bit easier than it is now. But regardless of how it all went down, Coach Candrea, you've been such an influencer of this great game, and I am deeply indebted to you for helping me as a student athlete and as a mentor throughout my coaching career. You're a class act human being, and I love you dearly. I really do. The next stop on this journey started with what I would call an epic official visit and meeting with Hall of Fame coach Judy Garman at Cal State Fullerton. Well, wait. Maybe it actually began like my sophomore year when Central played Fullerton. I think I might have struck out about 15 of their hitters. and then Judy said, how about you come and play for us next year? So again, maybe recruiting was a little easier back then. I don't know. But seriously, I wanted to be mentored by great coaches, play for a championship contending team, and Fullerton really did have it all. Judy, thank you for providing opportunities for me time and time again and throughout my career, for being a constant voice to me and other young coaches to keep evolving the sport. And thank you for your friendship. I love and appreciate you very much. I know we live in a transfer world now, but I wouldn't trade a day of my college playing days for anything. And having had the opportunity to learn and play from legends like Mike and Judy, well, let's just say I am certain it was part of God's plan. Also, no doubt part of the plan was having teammates who have become lifelong sisters to me, and several are here tonight. I didn't bring my drink up here, but cheers to you for your love and support throughout the years. I really, honestly could not be any happier that you're joining me in this celebration tonight. So thank you. This is the way, walk in it. Joanne Graff, I am not sure how I got so lucky to have you as my first boss at Florida State University. I was 23 years old when this Hall of Famer offered me the job, and although FSU felt worlds away from the West Coast, it just felt like an opportunity I had to take. Joanne is one of the most genuine and patient people I have ever met. She gave me the autonomy to find my voice as a coach, but kept me structured enough to learn the nuances of earning the title of coach. It's like she sprinkled wisdom all around, And luckily, I think I was really just there to soak up bits of it. I really do. Joanne, thank you for teaching me the right way to do things in the profession. That was really important. Establishing an ever important foundation to build my career on, and for pushing me to get my master's degree as well while I was working for you. I love you, and I am forever indebted to you for your mentorship and friendship. I love you. Whew. My athletic directors at the University of Texas, Jody Conrad and Chris Plonsky, brilliant women and leaders, as well as Hall of Famers several times over in their own arenas. Thankfully, Jody took a chance on a rookie to start the softball program at one of the most elite athletic programs in the country. Thank you for changing the course of my life and letting me be the caretaker of something so special for 23 years. The knowledge I gained and the lessons I learned from you both during my time at Texas are really cherished deep in my heart. Thank you. Whew. Staying at UT throughout my career and having a single stop as an assistant at FSU really was kind of mind-blowing to me, but it was really only possible because I was able to work at places that surrounded me with people I truly loved being with daily. It certainly feels like destiny to have been at both of these special places. Again, this is the way, walking it. I was happy to have those pass. It's not the stats or scores you remember, it's the people or the characters in your story that stick with you for the long haul. And man, in addition to great coaches and bosses, I have had some serious characters walk with me along this path. Let me start by talking about my assistant coaches that I had the privilege to work with through the years. And if y'all could stand up, most of them are here, which I'm super happy about. So if you could stand up, Andy, Jamie, Ty, Marla, Jill, Corey, Jen, and Tripp. Thank you. As well as our volunteer coaches and director of ops, Megan, Ches, Karina, Tina, and Shanna. Wherever y'all at, somewhere in here. I appreciate you more than you can imagine. I realized putting up with some of my crazy ideas and being patient with my impatience wasn't always easy. You brought your strengths to the table through your heart and soul into the Longhorn program and made a significant difference. We were able to collaborate with passion for good of the program, and without your insight, I would not be at this podium tonight. I believe that. I remember Chris Plonsky saying to me, and it stuck with me, saying, a good assistant will never let you walk into a burning house, and I had that in y'all. And Ken Ravisa always saying, be where you need to be when you need to be there, and you were always present. Thank you for helping me work through the ups and downs, joys and heartaches of the beautiful career of coaching. It takes a village to sustain a program, and I've been blessed with amazing support staff through the years, and it's an honor to call many of you close friends as well. Actually, folks from both Florida State and Texas are sharing this with me tonight: administrative assistants, media, academics, strength nutrition, medical personnel, and our beloved managers. So if you guys could stand, I really appreciate y'all being here and making the trek. I see you. Stand, don't be shy. Thank you. I really appreciate y'all. Whew. Also, a special thanks to Hal McClelland. He was my field maintenance guy the entire time I was at Texas. Each year, he'd be standing at the back gate entrance when I came into the facility and say, just in his own little way, Coach, here we go. It's year number 20 or 22 or... And I don't know why, that just always made me smile. He's really a quiet gentleman, but he was always so excited. He took so much pride in what he did. It was amazing. I miss him dearly. We lost him in 2019 to cancer. His wife, Gina, and their son, Crosby, are carrying on his legacy, and I know they're with us tonight. They couldn't make it, but we stay in touch, and I miss him a lot. Great man. Almost last, but certainly not least, are the athletes I had the honor to coach. Talk about characters. Absolutely. Will you characters please stand? I know I was so happy it was in Texas, so thank you for making the trek. I love y'all. Special thanks to Kat, Shanna, and Tina, who helped pull everybody together for this event, too. I really appreciate all for that. And listen, I don't have children, and I respect and love these young women as my own. Good, bad, or indifferent, they definitely brought out the motherly instincts in me. It was and is a pleasure to see them grow into themselves, and I really consider it one of the greatest privileges of my life to have experienced this. Thank you, ladies. I truly hoped you learned as much from me as I learned from you through the years. I really don't remember scores or stats, but I do remember things like stories from our initial club year, which was made up primarily of women who were attending UT and came to a general tryout. We played an abbreviated schedule and would be sanctioned by the NCAA the following year. Our club team's first road trip included a meal stop on the way to the field. And I go into the restaurant first, and I hear cleats like coming in behind me on the floor of the restaurant. And I thought we had covered all the basics, but apparently we hadn't covered wear slides or tennis shoes like when you stop for on a meal. So we had a lot to cover with that club team, but our second road trip was to Texas State, and we could not. Some of you were there. I know I got some oldies in the room. But we could not get out of the first inning. Matter of fact, I think there was one defensive position where the ball flew past home plate 3 times. I didn't know what to say in the huddle, really, when they got the third out finally, other than, okay, so we're down 2 touchdowns and a field goal, which sounded way more positive than like, hey, let's try to put up 17, you know? So club year was very, very humbling. We went like 1-23, but the final game was our sole victory. And it's like we won the Women's College World Series. Gloves were in the air, dog pile. So God taught me humility that year, and it was absolutely perfect. Another thing I remember throughout the years were my left field office chats, as I called them. And I thought it was just always much easier to talk through an issue while sitting out in the outfield grass without desks or walls. These women and I were able to let our guards down a bit and just chat and understand each other's worlds a little bit better. Those left field office conversations are very, very cherished memories. Then there was the entertainment, karaoke on the long bus rides, or what we called the Starlight Lounge. The talent was endless. Seriously, I think it was just the laughter that was endless. Or dancing on the bus during rain delays, or Halloween skits. Yeah, Halloween skits, I'll leave it at that. I recall being a little scared together a few times, having to find shelter at Brahms Ice Cream Shop or praying in the parking garage during tornado warnings in Oklahoma City. That was back before they had locker rooms at the World Series. Another time freaking out because the alarm is sounding at the hotel with a possible fire in progress. And the athletes, thank God, we always said if you hear a fire alarm, like leave everything, just get to the parking lot. Here they're coming out of their rooms with full drawers of clothes, but they were getting out of the room. So what are you going to do? There was also times when we were nervous together, not scared, but nervous. It was one year at the Fullerton tournament that we went out to often. The men's world baseball team was there practicing next door at the baseball field, and a few of them came over to sit in the stands and watch our practice. Here are A-Rod, Jeter, Chipper Jones, Houston Street, Roger Clemens watching our team, and we literally just start throwing the ball all over the place. We had to take a timeout, just kind of laugh it off for a minute, remind them to relax and trust themselves, and then get back to work. And finally, really just the memories of the times that felt, I guess what you'd say, hard, or were the challenging times, but I always appreciated the after effects because growth always, always followed the hard times. These are the things I remember. Thanks again, ladies, for the memories, as well as our ongoing relationships where I get to see you grow with your people, families, and follow your life events. Not much makes me happier than that. And final thoughts and thank yous. Maya Angelou has a quote that I love. Life is going to be short no matter how long it is. I tweak that a little and say your coaching career is going to be short no matter how long it is. And that summed up my personal decision to leave coaching after the 2018 season. Looking back, I couldn't have been any more blessed in my journey, but it just was time in my heart to explore other adventures, and I really felt like for Texas softball to take on new life. Thank you, Coach Mike White, for taking great care of the program and being a gracious successor. As you know, I'm always cheering you and the horns on. Thank you to the colleagues and friends I've had the privilege to collaborate in the past few years, Michelle Gramacki with the Netherlands team, Kirk Walker with Finland, and several other coaches through consulting gigs. What an absolute joy, really, to work with people you love and admire, as well as enjoying some travel and adventures along the way. And speaking of love and admiration, and finally, my family, my partner, and Lisa and my mom and dad are my best support system anyone could imagine. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your love, prayers, humor, and persistence and understanding. Journeying through life with you is an absolute gift from above. Thank you again for this honor. May your paths be clear. May you leave your mark, and cheers.
Our next inductee is Augustana University head coach Greta Melstead. All right, Texas, you're on here, right? Let's go. Greta Melstead is in her 19th season as Augustana's head coach and 22nd overall as collegiate head coach. She guided the Vikings to the 2019 NCAA Division II national title and 12 NCAA tournament appearances since 2010. Since stepping into the Augie dugout in 2007, Melstead has steered the Vikings to 813 victories, reaching at least 40 wins on 11 occasions, and 5 50-win seasons, and a program record 61 victories in 2019. During her time with the Vikings, the program has reached the NCAA Division II National Championships 4 times, most recently in 2024, made 4 super regional appearances, captured 4 Central Region titles, and claimed 6 regular season and 4 NSIC tournament crowns. Melstead has mentored 86 All-Conference, 44 NFCA All-Region, and 20 NFCA All-American honorees, along with a combined 14 player, pitcher, newcomer, and freshman of the year winners, and 1 NCAA Woman of the Year. At this time, please enjoy the video highlighting the career of Greta Melstead.
Greta Melstead's journey to becoming a respected figure in collegiate softball reflects the hard work, dedication, and leadership that have defined her outstanding career. As one of the winningest coaches in NCAA Division II since taking over prior to the 2007 season, Melstead has led the Augustana Vikings to phenomenal success, building a legacy that has made her name synonymous with excellence.
For the first time since 1991, Augustana is the national champion.
Upon arrival in Sioux Falls, Coach Melstead brought an unwavering commitment to her program. Under her guidance, Augustana has become a powerhouse in the NSIC, capturing 7 regular season conference titles, 4 NSIC tournament titles, 12 NCAA tournament appearances, and 4 appearances in the Division II National Championships. In 2019, Melstead guided the Vikings to their 2nd Division II National Championship, winning a pair of elimination games in the D2 Championship Series to cement her status as one of the top coaches in the nation. That team tied the program record with 61 victories, and the coaching staff was named the NFCA Staff of the Year. In 2019 alone, Melstead coached 3 All-Americans and 10 All-NSIC honorees.
They bought into everything Coach Melstead said. They competed, they stabbed and twist a lot and often, but we had a couple of pivotal moments in our season that really helped us take off and just really finish the job. They weren't going to settle for anything less. We always just want them to have a shot, but national championship was what they wanted, and they went after it and they got it.
The Vikings also won the NSIC and advanced to the D2 National Championship in 2021 and 2024, continuing to maintain a standard of excellence season after season. With 813 wins and counting, her leadership on the field has been nothing short of exceptional.
Her commitment to excellence in nurturing talent and helping young women succeed on the field and in life is truly inspiring. Coach Melsted embodies teamwork and a philanthropic spirit, making her a role model for all of us. We are thrilled to celebrate her induction into the NFCA Hall of Fame.
When you look at Greta's career, there's no doubt she's a leader within our athletics department and a leader within our coaching staff, but really she's a leader on our campus because she embodies everything that Augustana is about, and her teams compete that way. I tell people all the time, she's as intense of a competitor as you'll ever see, but she has a unique ability to relate to her 18 to 22-year-old athletes, and she has evolved as her coaching style, as our athletes have as well.
As your time as a coach in the Northern Sun Intercollegiate Conference, you have coached countless all-conference players and All-Americans, and your teams have captured a lot of conference championships. We're very proud to have you a member as the Northern Sun Intercollegiate Conference, and certainly are excited for you and your family with the NFCA Hall of Fame induction.
It's absolutely amazing to see all the wonderful things over the last 18 years and the highlights and the juggling family and softball back and forth, to see that she was able to get recognized to such a degree at this point.
She works so hard on it. She's always like at home, she's always like, oh, just one more work thing, I've got this, and like all positive attitude, and great. It's just great how hard she works at it and how much she deserves this.
She's my mom, so I love her, and it's really exciting to have someone be in the Wall of Fame that's in my family.
Your drive, Greta, the way you care, and your desire to make a difference for the kids you coach is part of what sets you apart and has made you a winner as a coach and as a human being.
Mom and Dad would have been really proud of you too, and we love you.
We love you, Greta. Congrats.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Greta, Hall of Fame, so well earned. You often call yourself simply the caretaker of Augie softball. After all, how many programs have 2 Hall of Fame head coaches? But you're so much more than that. To sustain the success this program has had is so hard, yet you continue to keep us competing on a national stage while being exactly what our girls need on and off the field. You've built a program that turns out empowered young women who love to compete or stab and twist and are really good at it. But know the overall experience you give them is second to none. I'm so thankful to have been a part of your career, your induction in the Hall of Fame, your life, and your family. We've shared many ups and downs, a national championship, 400 wins, and we're not done yet. Congrats on your Hall of Fame career, Greta. Here's to many more.
Your passion, your commitment to your own student athletes, to the NSIC, and to the NFCA. It's just so hard to put into words for the thank you for all that. I think that this award is so rewarding for you, and I'm so happy that you've been inducted to the NFCA. Yes, we've had a lot of battles on the playing field, whatever, but at the end of the day, it's always just been a game, and it's always been about the camaraderie and how do we continue to grow the sport of softball.
Greta, you've done it the right way your entire career. Not only have you won at an elite level, but more importantly, you've done it without sacrificing your values. You've been a coach to so many, but a friend and teacher to so many more of us who never had the opportunity to be a part of your program. Above all, through all your success, you've maintained your most important identity as a mother, daughter, wife, and friend. Greta, your championships and victories stand out to the outside world, but your impact is felt by what you've given back to the game through your leadership, mentorship, and caring. You are a Hall of Famer both on the field and off, and it's an honor and a privilege to call you a friend.
I
first year coaching together with you at Augie, we talked a lot about legacy, leaving the Jersey in a better place, and you have certainly done that. You forged an indelible and deeply impressive legacy in Sioux Falls, instilling in all those who have come into your orbit, right, standards of excellence, standards in recruiting the right kids, special athletes that go to your program, standards in performance on the field, doing the right things, and doing the right things off the field as well.
On the field, she has coached a National Player of the Year, an NCAA Woman of the Year, 25 All-Americans, 3 Region Players of the Year, and 2 Region Pitchers of the Year. While her on-field achievements are remarkable, Greta Melsted's influence goes far beyond wins and championships. She has been a true mentor to her players, shaping them into strong leaders both on and off the field.
Coach is really good at life lessons in general, and seeing them come into the office throughout their career and just get to know her and get to know us, you see the impact it has moving forward. And one of the best things is hearing how they found their dream job. And one cool thing is how many of us, or how many former players, how many former coaches she's maybe had as graduate assistants stay in coaching and give back because they've had such a good experience here. We have so many high school coaches, travel ball coaches, a lot of college coaches now. So to see her coaching tree, if you actually put it on paper, would be pretty impressive. And it's because of what she teaches them. She wants to give back to them. In turn, they give back to the younger generation coming on up.
You are a phenomenal human being, and your coaching accolades will speak for themselves. But who you are as a human being and what you mean to me and my life, I can never repay you. Thank you, Coach, for everything.
She always makes the team feel like family by sharing hers, having us over for home-cooked meals, sharing stories about her dad, and even sharing family recipes. That's a side many people don't get to see. Only the lucky ones get to see it.
I have so much respect for you and appreciate all that you do, which has led me to become a much more independent and empowered woman in just the last 2 years. I will forever cherish our relationship and what you've allowed me to have here at Augustana. There's no secret to why Augustana has been so successful for years. It's had you as the common denominator. I can speak for the team by saying we are so proud of you and thankful to have you leading our pack. Congratulations, you've earned this.
She's shown me what it means to be a strong woman and a strong leader, while also juggling everything that life throws at us, work, school, family, and friends, and handling all of that with grace, flexibility, and hard work. I'm forever grateful for the opportunity to have played for Coach Melstead, and Augustana softball would not be what it is today without Coach Melstead. This induction into the Hall of Fame is so well earned. I'm so excited to celebrate you, Coach. Congratulations.
I had an incredible time. My 4 years at Augie. The best part of that was the softball team and just all we got to do. And so I feel very lucky that I got to know you and be coached by you and learn a lot from you. So I appreciate everything you do. I'm stoked for you to have this opportunity to be, a Hall of Famer. And no one deserves it more. So thanks so much for everything you've done and congratulations.
Your dedication and passion for the game, your players, and your program is unmatched. You've exemplified what it means to be a strong, resilient woman in sports and beyond. I am so lucky to have been coached by you. We all left the program better than when we came in. You have instilled in me values that I will carry with me forever, and that I know will help me be the best physician I can be. Thank you so much for all that you've done for me, my teammates, and the Augustana softball program.
You've invested in my success athletically and academically. You've given me the confidence I need to succeed in any facet of life, and you've also taught me what it truly looks like to live with integrity. I feel like it can be difficult sometimes to come to work every single day with positivity and enthusiasm, regardless of whatever else is going on inside your life. And you continue to do so every day. It's something I look up to, and your drive to succeed is unmatched.
The program you've built means the world to us, and you bring out the best in each and every one of us. We're so grateful to have such a strong woman to look up to who will always be in our corner. You value making us great softball players, but more importantly, you value making us great people. And we thank you for that. Congrats, Coach, we love you!
Thank you for our time at Augie.
And after comparing notes, it looks like I did a heck of a lot more Rangers than this one ever did. But we truly want to say congratulations from our entire family.
And you deserve it, Coach.
I will never forget kind of your motto that you live by, which is to leave a place and leave people better than you found them. And I have no doubt that there are so many young women that have gone on in this world to do amazing things because you left a better impact on their life. So thank you. Enjoy this honor. Much deserved, and very, very proud to be a part of Augie softball. Go Augie.
You took a kid from the Twin Cities with zero body awareness and too much strength and made her into a softball player that I can't even recognize. And you have sparked the fire of coaching inside of me, and I love being able to give back to the game every day because of what you've given me. You truly make everyone around you better and the game of softball better. Congrats.
I am so proud to call you mentor and call you friend. I have this organization to thank for all the advice and all the leadership and all the things you've done to make Division II softball a championship experience. You try to make it better every single year by not only winning it, but also make the experience better for the student athletes. I love your coaching tree. I love the ripple effect that you've had on so many people. You are so deserving of this award, and I am so thankful to call you friend. Congratulations, coach, and enjoy the moment, because I know you're going to continue to be great and be awesome and kick everybody's butt still.
As her players, colleagues, and the community reflect on her remarkable career, it's clear that Greta Melstead has left an indelible mark, not just on the Augustana Vikings softball program, but on the sport itself.
Greta, congratulations on your induction into the NFCA Hall of Fame.
Greta, on behalf of our coaches, our staff, and our champion student athletes at Augustana, congratulations on your induction into the Hall of Fame. We couldn't be prouder.
Congratulations, Greta.
Hey Greta, congratulations on being inducted into the NFCA Hall of Fame. Such a deserving honor for you. Grateful that our paths have crossed, grateful for all that you've done for the sport of softball, and especially all that you've done for women in sports.
Congratulations, Greta, on your induction into the Hall of Fame. Inevitable and incredibly well-deserved.
Congrats, Coach. No one more deserving.
Congrats, Coach!
We are just so ecstatic and proud of all the things you've accomplished and done. We love you, and thank you for being the moral center of our family and your team.
How much she's worked and how much she's done, I feel like this is a great achievement and that she should be rewarded.
I love my mom, and she is in the Wall of Fame, and I'm really excited.
Let's welcome to the podium 2024 NFCA Hall of Fame inductee, Greta Melstead.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'd like to specifically thank the NFCA Executive Director, Carol Brueggemann, and the Hall of Fame Committee for this truly humbling honor. I'd also like to congratulate Connie and Tim. It's really amazing for me to be standing by you guys. It's hard to put into words how humbling an honor this is for me. I wasn't even supposed to be coaching this sport. When I was younger, basketball was my love, and all I wanted to do was to become a college basketball coach. I played both basketball and softball at Carleton College, and that was back in the day when you could actually play two sports. And while in college, all I wanted to do was become a college basketball coach. I spent the first 3 years out of college teaching high school social studies and coaching both basketball and softball, even coaching high school boys basketball. During my time as a high school teacher, I applied for graduate assistant positions in basketball. It took 3 years, but I finally got an offer as a graduate assistant at William Woods University, a small NAI school in Fulton, Missouri. And so I packed up all my stuff and I moved. While at William Woods, I was fortunate enough that the head softball coach, Tracy Gastineau, allowed me to help and volunteer my time with the softball program after basketball season. And after my GA, I landed a job as the head softball coach assistant women's basketball coach, and an instructor in PE at Culver Stockton College. Looking back, I still can't believe I coached 2 sports and taught several courses each semester. I can't even imagine doing that now. But it was somewhere during my time at Culver Stockton where I realized coaching basketball wasn't really where I belonged. It was coaching softball. Tonight, besides acknowledging the many people who have made a significant impact in my life and who helped get me to where I am today, I want to spend a little bit of time reflecting on a few life lessons and values that my parents, the late Pastor Marno and Marlis Melstead, taught me. They taught me these lessons by either having deep, open, honest, and supportive conversations, or just by how they lived their lives as both parents and human beings. The first values I want to reflect on are faith and the willingness to be open to where you are being led in life, whether that's in a conventional way, an unconventional way, or even if it's down a path you might not want to go down. My parents were great examples of this. You see, I was born in Ridgecrest, California, a town in the Mojave Desert that was home to the China Lake Naval Weapons Center. My father was a mechanical engineer for the government, where he designed weapons. If you knew my father, you know that this didn't necessarily jive with his personality. He was a gentle, kind, calm, patient, and loving man. A man with a calming presence that exuded an aura that everything would be all right. You see, designing weapons didn't totally align with his values. He felt the call to become a Lutheran pastor early in his career, but ignored that calling for 20 plus years. It took years, plus the unwavering support of my mom, for him to finally answer that call to ministry. And at the age of 46, my father resigned his stable, well-paid government job and moved our family across the country to attend seminary. My father spent 5 years going to school and also working jobs like custodial services before he got his first call as a Lutheran pastor. I was 5 years old when we left California, so I don't have a ton of memories of it, but I do remember the years when my dad was in seminary and times were much leaner. I remember overhearing conversations that my parents had about my dad's changing career and that it was the right thing to do. He and my mother never regretted making that leap. They only regretted not doing it earlier. My dad went on to be a Lutheran pastor, serving rural congregations in both Minnesota and Iowa for over 20 years before he retired in his 70s. Although I gave you a short version of what our lives were like, I can tell you that my parents made a huge impression on my siblings and I. An impression that gave us children the permission, the strength, the faith, and the courage to be willing and open to explore different paths, jobs, and careers. We were given the support and encouragement to figure out who we were and what and where we were called to be. Without their example, love, and support, I might not have ever left high school teaching to embark on a college career in a state where I knew no one. I might not have taken my first head coaching job at Culver Stockton, and I might not have been able to leave my dream of becoming a college basketball coach to become a softball coach. It is my sincere hope for each and every one of you in this room to be able to find the strength and courage and faith to listen and follow your calling, whatever that calling may be, and wherever that calling may take you. The second value that my parents and all my mentors embodied was a servant mindset. Of course, serving others is what my dad's career was entirely about as a pastor, But my coaches and mentors in college were excellent at modeling this behavior and lifestyle. I had 3 very influential college mentors: Eileen Reading, my college basketball coach; Myla Urban, my college softball coach; and Julie Davis, my work-study advisor. These 3 women made a profound impact in my life. These women taught me what Title IX was and the importance of it. These women taught me about the women who came before us and paved the way so that I could participate in high school and collegiate athletics. All 3 of them were pioneers in their own right, fighting for opportunities and breaking down barriers in collegiate athletics. They reinforced themes that I had already learned in my home and our family of becoming a strong, confident, empowered woman who had a voice and could make a difference. Myla and Eileen taught me how to be a coach and how to treat players. I'll be honest, at Carleton, we're a little more academic school. We didn't win as much, but they did teach me how to guide players and help young people grow up and become outstanding human beings. They helped teach me that coaching is really just about serving others. Thank you, Myla, Eileen, and Julie, for mentoring this overly competitive kid from Albert Lee. In true life, joy is found when we serve others. The last theme I want to address tonight is empowering young people. You see, that is really what our job is as a coach. Our job is to help young people grow up with the values that will help them be successful in life. Our job is to help make this world just a little bit better place through the players that we mentor and coach. And as softball coaches, we just use a game to teach these values. It is our job to do this with patience, kindness, love, and high standards of excellence. Now, don't be mistaken, you can lead with love and still have incredibly high standards. This is what we do at Augustana, and trust me, we are not sitting in a circle, holding hands, and singing Kumbaya in practice. But love is fostered through unwavering support, trust, and a willingness to be part of something bigger than yourself. This is a skill that I had to grow into as a coach. I wish I would have been a lot better at this early in my career than I am now later in my career. I have been fortunate in my career that I found a school that aligns with my values and fits with who I am. Unfortunately, we live in a society where the grass is always greener and people are bouncing from one job to another looking for the next best thing. All schools have challenges, and all schools have their ups and downs. No place is perfect. But does the good outweigh the bad? I hope that you all can find a home, plant some roots, and stay for a while. It doesn't have to be like me, like an entire career, but stay long enough to see how you grow and how you help others grow. I was lucky enough to find that home at Augustana. Before I close for the evening, I would be remiss if I didn't take some time to thank the many people who have helped me get to where I am today. To all my former players at both Culver Stockton and Augustana, thank you. Thank you for being bright, amazing, talented, empowered young women, for working your tails off day in and day out, for buying into me and the culture that we have created. At Augustana, we even have a name for our culture. They call it the Brotherhood. Now, my players know I'd much rather it be called the Sisterhood, but I just let them go with it. But thank you for wanting to be a part of something bigger than yourself, for wanting to be a part of a program that plays for people who came before them and is playing for the people who will come after them, for upholding the standards of Augustana softball on a daily basis and striving for excellence in all aspects of life. Thank you for growing alongside of me from my first year to year 19. Thank you for letting me be a part of your lives and you being a part of my life. None of this would have happened without you. I believe in all of you, I am proud of all of you, and I love all of you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. To Augustana University, to all my coaching colleagues, administrators, professors, and staff of Augustana, thank you. Augustana is an extremely special place. Those of us who work there know it. Augie people love Augie. And it is a truly supportive and caring place. Thank you to Bill Gross and President Rob Oliver, who initially hired me. Thank you to Slade Larscheid, who also served as our AD. And thank you to our current athletic director, Josh Morton, who made peanut butter and jelly sandwiches during our national championship run so our kids had something to eat in the dugout. Thank you, Josh, for always supporting our softball program. Thank you to our administrative team and my sports supervisor, Luke Groth. Thank you to all the professors at Augustana who work with our players and who are so supportive of our team. And also a special thank you to President Stephanie Herseth-Sandlin for being a huge supporter of our program. She even rode the bus with us and went to Chick-fil-A during our national championship run. She's a former congresswoman, but in all honesty, she's just Stephanie, an avid supporter and fan of our players. Thank you to all who have coached alongside of me. A lot of you have chosen to continue your coaching career, and many of you at the college level. I can't thank all of you enough for what you have brought to our program. Our current college coaches, Mike Mook, Kayla Hadding, Caitlin Winnick, to name a few, thank you. Nat Wagner, thank you for being the human being that you are. I enjoyed our years together at Augustana, culminating in a national championship. All of our coaching talks we had, all of our life chats that we had, all of our hockey chats that we had. You are a phenomenal coach, and you do not give yourself enough credit for how good you really are. Thank you for being a great friend to me and for coaching with me. Coach Kirk Wilson, who would have ever thought that I'd be standing here today? We were an unlikely coaching duo. You jumped on board with me at Culver Stockton many years ago, a 50-something-year-old guy that took a chance on a 20-something-year-old female head coach. You backed me up every step of the way, and we became great friends. You've always been one of my biggest fans. You were in my wedding, and I can't thank you enough for being here today to share in this honor with me. Thank you for being my friend for 20-plus years. You are one of a kind, Coach, and truly a loyal friend. Kels, my assistant, how do you thank your right hand? Kels, we've coached together for a long time. From the time that you were a GA to now, we have coached over 400 games together and have been through good times and bad. You are part of our family and like another sister to me. We have our coaching rhythm down to a T. You're involved in all aspects of our program, and this award is yours too. You are an outstanding coach who could be coaching wherever you wanted, but you have stayed by my side for years. I can't thank you enough for what you bring to our program, but most importantly, for who you are as a person, a coaching colleague, and a friend. I'm glad you are on this coaching journey with me. It's been a heck of a ride. Nathan and Lisa, my siblings, have always been super, super supportive of me. No matter what I've chosen to do in life, the two of you have always believed in me. In fact, you probably believed in me more than I believed in myself. Nathan, you got me into sports, even though he is not that athletic. He is more musically inclined, but he got me into it. And Lisa has always been my sounding board. I love you both very much. To my husband, Dan, and my sons, Matthew and Jacob, thank you for letting Mom not only be a mom, but a coach. Thanks for sharing me with my teams. Dan, thank you for being a single dad for chunks of time during the year and for being our teams and my biggest fan and supporter. Thank you for always being proud of your wife and for drinking the Kool-Aid of Augie softball. Thank you for also learning very early in our marriage that I didn't need you to fix everything when it came to softball. I just needed you to listen. My engineer who helped build our field, my rock, my cheerleader, and my person who keeps me in check, my polar opposite, and my best friend. I love you, honey. Matthew, you went on your first softball trip when you were 8 weeks old. And Jacob, you were 14 weeks old. You've grown up around my teams, and I can think of no better role models for both of you. Matthew, I love that you love being in the dugout and that you help me coach. You have more of a coaching mind than you know and more empathy for people than imaginable. Jacob, you keep everything light and less serious. Your humor keeps me on my toes, and your quick-witted nature astounds me. You make every day fun. Boys, I know I sometimes miss your games because I'm at my team's games, but know that I am always there loving and supporting you and telling you to work hard, have fun, listen to your coaches, and be a great teammate. You both make your mama so proud day in and day out. And finally, one more thank you to my parents, Marno and Marla Smelstead. Thank you for being the best parents a kid could ever have, for always being supportive and for teaching us to live our lives with integrity, faith, and grace. Dad, thank you for giving me your patience and your gentleness. And Mom, thank you for giving me your fiery competitiveness. Although you may not be with us anymore, your legacy lives on in Lisa, Nathan, and I. And thank you one last time to the NFCA for this truly, truly humbling honor.
Our final inductee of the evening is Tim Walton, head coach at the University of Florida. Tim Walton, who has steered the University of Florida to 2 national championships, is in his 20th season at the helm of the Gators and 23rd as a collegiate head coach. Entering 2025, Walton has posted 980 wins in 19 seasons in Florida and 1,103 in his career. Walton's .785 winning percentage ranks 3rd among active NCAA head coaches with a minimum of 10 years experience. In 2024, Walton achieved 1,100 career wins just 2 seasons after he became the 2nd fastest NCAA Division I head coach to reach 1,000 career victories behind the legendary Arizona coach and NFCA Hall of Famer Mike Candrea. The 5-time SEC Coach of the Year led the Gators to back-to-back Women's College World Series titles in 2014 and 2015. With 8 SEC regular season championships, 6 SEC tournament titles, 12 trips to the Women's College World Series, and 5 championship series appearances. During his watch, Gator softball student athletes have earned 52 NFCA All-American honors, 79 All-SEC honors, 2 USA Softball Player of the Year recipients, 3 Honda Award winners, 13 SEC Player and Pitcher of the Year honorees, 2 NFCA Player of the Year, and 1 NFCA Freshman of the Year. Some good players, Coach. Please enjoy this video honoring the career of Tim Walton.
Congratulations, Coach, on being inducted into the NFCA Hall of Fame. You are so deserving. You have given so many of us the opportunity to live out our dreams. I cannot imagine my life without the University of Florida in it, and you gave me an opportunity. Thank you for teaching me to really remember and celebrate special moments. That's something I've taken into my life post-college, and I'm just really grateful because choosing Florida was the best decision of my life, and that's because you gave me a chance. So congratulations, Coach Walton. You deserve it. Can't wait to see all that you do with the rest of your career.
Tim, first of all, congratulations. What an honor it is for you to be elected into our Coaches Hall of Fame. Most importantly, over the years, from when you started at Oklahoma as an assistant to your time at Wichita State to now at the University of Florida, you have taught the young ladies in your program over the years more than just winning, but about life, responsibility, and accountability. It is a great honor that you have achieved, and it is very well deserved, my friend.
Congratulations, Tim. This honor is well deserved. You have been such an impact to our sport. You're an inspiration to so many. You have had such an impact in so many details and parts of the game. To be able to win as much as you do and lead in so many categories year after year really speaks to who you are in our sport.
Congratulations, Coach, on the NFCA Hall of Fame. I didn't have many doubts that you would be getting here, but congratulations on all the hard work that it took to get here. I'm so happy that I was able to have you as a coach. You changed my life. You made it what it is, and I will always be grateful to you, and I'll celebrate next time I see you.
Hi, Tim. I just want to take this opportunity to congratulate you on this amazing accomplishment. I'm so blessed that I had the opportunity to coach alongside you for 6 seasons. You taught me how not to be just a great coach, but also a great person. You taught me how to balance work, family, and life situations. I'm truly so grateful for the time that I was at Florida.
Congrats, Coach Walton, on being inducted into the Hall of Fame. I'm so excited for you. You've deserved this for a long time. You're the best of the best. You pay attention to every detail possible, and it pays off not only with how many wins in your record, but really with the amount of great people that you produce in the program.
Hey Tim, congratulations on your induction into the NFCA Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame is for the best of the best, and that certainly describes your remarkable career and accomplishments. It's a tribute to your amazing dedication to your players and your program, and I certainly appreciate the opportunity to compete against you. I appreciate competing with you. But even more so, I appreciate our friendship. I couldn't be more happy for you, and it's your night. I hope you enjoy it.
Well, first of all, congratulations, Coach Walton, on being inducted into the Hall of Fame. No surprise there. You're a wonderful coach. I mean, you're the best coach, in my opinion, but I'm a little biased. Not just because you're a great coach is why you're getting this. It's more of like you're a great person. Just want to thank you for everything, and congrats again.
As we celebrate the legendary career of Tim Walton, I'm thought of the many lessons that he's taught us. 1, always wear matching shoes, so win or lose, and he rarely loses, you feel good about yourself at the end of the game. 2nd, don't be afraid to get personal with the umpires. He once told a group in the Pro League that his 3 kids could do a better job for free. I pulled this one out after I had my 3rd kid. But in all seriousness, Tim Walton has taught us that the standard is the standard. His attention to detail and ability to prep a team is unmatched. No matter the team or the personnel, he always finds a way to be successful and provide a group that any alum would be proud to have been a part of.
I just wanted to say thank you so much for the hard work and the dedication that you have poured into not only myself, but this program and the players that continue to come through it. I'm so proud of you, and you deserve every bit of this, and go Gators.
Hey Tim, congratulations on your induction to the Hall of Fame. What a great moment for you. So excited for you to be honored in such a way today. It's just been so great to be able to watch you have a front row seat and to be able to watch you from a distance really excel in your career. So you've had an impact on so many people. I know other people can maybe see you as more of a competitor, but I've certainly been able to see you and see your heart and really appreciate the man that you are.
Hey Coach, it's me. Congratulations on being inducted into the Hall of Fame. You deserve it and more, always. Should have been a little bit sooner, but I guess we'll take it now. I just want to say thank you so much for giving me everything, for being a Gator, recruiting me to come to this wonderful university, play for the Gators and win national championships and win championships here. Thank you for always being honest with me and for instilling that with me for the rest of my life. I'm sorry about all your gray hair, but I think it paid off. Go Gators.
Hey Tim, on behalf of the Florida Athletic Department, congratulations on being named to the NFCA Hall of Fame. You have become one of the most accomplished coaches in the history of the sport and have led Florida Gator softball to become one of the most preeminent programs in the sport. On behalf of all Gator Nation, please know how incredibly proud we are of you. Congratulations again. Go Gators.
Hi Tim, congratulations for being inducted into the NFCA Hall of Fame. Long overdue. I'm really proud of you. I remember when you were just a kid and brought you into OU softball. It was new to you, but the one thing I remember the most is that you were a hustler. And hustling gets you where you want to go, and it's shown throughout your entire career. So I'm really proud of you. I watched your career from the beginning. One of the toughest things there is to do is sustain a high level, and you've done that throughout.
Tim, just want to congratulate you on being inducted into the Coaches Hall of Fame. I've read the bio. Nobody deserves it more than you. Haven't sat in the front row with you for so many years. I've watched how you did it, the way you respected the game, the class you did it with, the integrity you did it with, the way you impacted your athletes. In my opinion, there's none better than you.
Congrats, Coach, on being inducted into the NFCA Hall of Fame. No one deserves this more than you. You've pushed me to be the player I am today. I got to be an Olympian. I got to be a national champion. Like, there's nothing better than that, and I give all of that credit to you. But what I'm more proud of is the woman I am today because of you. I'm an awesome mom. I'm an awesome teammate. I'm an awesome professional player, and I'm still playing, 30 years old. And again, that's all credit to you. I can only pray that I'm half the mom as you were to us, as a father figure, as a coach, and everything, and those little seeds, and just making us better humans every single day.
T-Dub, I want to wish you congratulations on your induction into the National Fast Pitch Coaches Association Hall of Fame. I'm just so thankful for you and your family and everything that you've meant to me and my family and so many others, whether it be coaches, players, administrators. You truly embody what it is to be a coach. Class, professionalism, bringing it every single day. I just don't think I could have a better example than you. And all of us that are in this room here tonight, I don't think we could have a better example.
Congratulations, Tim.
Congratulations, Tim.
We're so proud of you.
We love you, Uncle Timmy.
Congratulations, Tim.
We are super proud parents.
Love you.
Tim, we are so unbelievably proud of you, and we love you so much.
Congratulations, Dad.
Let's welcome to the podium 2024 NFCA Hall of Fame inductee, Tim Walton.
Ooh, I wasn't ready for that. I did not watch the video either, Connie, so I did notice a couple of horns up a couple times there. I was like, uh-oh, saw that. You're welcome. Oh, my goodness. Well, this is a tremendous honor. I got a chance to talk to Coach Kendray right before I got up here earlier, and he said, you know, the key to a good speech is what? And I said, keep it short, and he's, yes. I got 7 pages of notes, Coach, and a lot of people to thank. But first of all, I just want to thank the committee. I know I didn't realize there was a process for this. Nobody starts coaching and thinks that, well, one day I'm going to be in the Hall of Fame. But there's a committee, there's a process, and I respect that process and thank those that put my name out there and put their name on me. And that's a tremendous honor. for that. I know there are some competitors that said some nice things, and I appreciate that more than you know. Thank you to Carol and Lacey Lee before her with the executive director position and being able to take the sport of softball from the level that it was. We saw the visors there, Connie. We saw the shorts, and we saw my hair color change and some of the other things there, and just the tremendous amount of work that the NFCA does to promote our sport, promote the young people in it, and obviously protect the coaches that are in it. And thank you for that. To Greta and to Connie, obviously your careers, Greta, your passion and your speech was so inspiring. And I tell my young people all the time, you never know where you're going to find motivation or inspiration to keep doing this every single day. And thank you for that. And Connie, what a great leadoff hitter you were tonight. That was, I said a triple, and I didn't mean that offensively because a home run's easy to do. A triple's the hardest thing to do in our game. And you hit it, and you killed it, and it was awesome. So thank you for that. So Coach Kendrea, back in 1972, no, I'm just kidding. I won't go that far. But I put together some notes. I'd like to thank a lot of people. I did a little bit. I was a history major at the University of Oklahoma. My last class to graduate, there was a math class maybe in there to graduate later after pro ball, but I took women in sport, and it was my class. I had to write a thesis on women in sport to graduate with my degree at the University of Oklahoma. I won't lie, I took the class because it had the word sport in it. And what I learned from that class was something that will stand with me for the rest of my life. And I'm going to start backwards. So I did this because usually we thank those that are closest to us last. We just assume they know how much they mean to us. And I'm going to start. Kenny said something pretty cool. And, you know, Kenny's usually the one that's crying in the dugout. I mean, we see plenty of pictures of it and videos. And we've seen it all over. So I'm not usually like this, but it's going to be tough, Kenny. So thank you. But I'm going to, sorry, Sam, I'm going to start with Samantha, my wife, first, but not Kenny. My wife's a college basketball player at Oral Roberts. I finished up my pro career, started taking classes at Oral Roberts. Met my wife. A few months later, we were engaged. Less than a year later, we were married, and we've been married for 26 plus years now. And she tells better stories than I do. So after we're done, I did not have a sip of alcohol today or tonight. After we're done, we'll be cheers and we'll be talking. She can tell you the story of one of our first dates. We went on play in the Oral Roberts practice gym at night, and we played a little 2-on-2 with her sister Jess, another player as well. And Sam said I ripped out her ponytail to score a basket or a defender and something. I wasn't very good at basketball, but what I was really good at was paying attention to my wife and the level of detail. Yeah, I paid attention to her, and I learned so much of things that I just took for granted as an athlete my whole entire career. That, you know, I got up, I played baseball, I practiced, I trained, I did it, and did repeat the next day. And my wife was doing the same thing the same way, if not better, and more prepared. And I learned so much about women in sport from my wife, and at the time my girlfriend, then fiance. Then I constantly learned from her and the job that she did raising our kids. You know, it's amazing. So thank you. I have two sons. I was listening to Greta talk, and I didn't have this on the docket, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I'm coaching third base at Evansville, Indiana, 2000, probably 4, maybe 3. I think it's 4. My oldest son, Brooks, who's went on the trip with me. It's just Dad's trip, so me and him. And he's in the bathroom down below the dugout, and all of a sudden our girls come out to me at third base and say, hey, Dad, or hey, Tim, Coach, whatever your name is. They said, Brooks needs you. And I go, what does he need? I'm in the middle of the game. We got someone on second. And I hear this, Dad, wipe me. It was the funniest. That's a true story. Like, you can't even make that stuff up. And that's what life is like, being a ball coach. As your kids grow up at the field, and the players on your team, they learn a lot about you as a parent and a coach just by watching what you do and how you interact with your kids. And I've never been more proud of my kids, Brooks, and then my daughter Camden and my son Palmer. They're here tonight as well, and just what they've done to endure the ghosts of expectations of being a college coach and what you have to do to repeat it over and over and over again. And you're only going to be as good as your family and what you have at home. And I have the best home. Brooks has graduated college and playing some independent baseball and helping me in the off season. And my daughter Camden graduated the University of Florida. And my son Palmer was born in Gainesville. He's lived his whole life in Gainesville. And the cool thing is I've had really had 4 jobs, met my wife. My youngest son was born in Norman, Oklahoma. My daughter was born in Wichita, Kansas, and my youngest son's born in Gainesville, Florida. And I think it's the coolest thing ever to have your kids really in the same place for a long period of time. But my son Brooks, just a really good kid. And if you put a little pressure on me, I'd probably say having him around, going around the ballpark and doing some cool things. He's been one of my sidekicks and one of my best friends for a long, long time. So. Love him and the brother he is to his son, to my son Palmer, and my daughter Camden, who's the smartest of the 3 and is really, 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 really intelligent. As she graduated from the University of Florida, now she's the recruiting coordinator for our men's golf team on our campus. And this is a fun story. I didn't have this planned either. Last night, she said, "Hey, I got to change my flight. I'm supposed to go out. We're going home on Sunday." She said, "We've got a recruit coming in the transfer portal, and I got to get back. Our assistant coach isn't a good assistant coach who played on the PGA Tour, but he doesn't know much about the campus tour stuff, so I got to get back to try to land this recruit." And I'm like, if that's why you're going home, please, I'll buy the ticket, get out. And very few people have that in them to be able to do that. And really proud of you for making that decision, and but most importantly, making sure I was okay with it. And we'll always be okay for you to go and do a better job than they expect you to do. So thank you for all the jobs you guys do. My parents, they're here as well. My mom and dad were, we had that was a funny shirt that they're wearing. It says, Tim Walton made softball hard, which was kind of a funny thing that one of our guys did in town. And, it's obviously we take a lot of pride in bringing a lot of notoriety and respect to the sport of fast pitch. And I thought that was really cool. But my parents, my dad taught me what hard work was really like. Just an amazing worker, and he taught me at a young age, go to college, do what you got to do. My dad was a roofer and a contractor his whole life, and worked 6+ days a week, and just taught me what it's like. I'm a type A personality. I'd get in trouble if my socks were wrong side in when I put them into the laundry, and allegedly I number my socks because of you, Dad, because you got to number your socks so they'll match when you put them on the next time. So taught me a ton about work ethic, taught me a ton about what it's like to be a dad, what it's like to be a husband, what it's like to be a son, a brother, and more respect than I probably ever given my parents because, be honest with you, I went away to college, and I've been out of California now longer than I've been in California, but the impact that they had on me in my life for 20+ years at home, and then any and everything that I needed, still to this day, if I need something, they're always there. They've been there for me. My mom, so my parents got married when I was 5 years old, and I don't know why I can't remember their anniversary, but it's the hardest thing for me to do. They just celebrated 47 years of marriage. I'm 52. I was in their wedding at 5, and they're still together to this day, and just a really, really, really 2 great people that raised, I'll say raised me right, but taught me right. I think that was the coolest thing about them. They did a fantastic job of showing us what it's like to be a good family, and family comes first above all. And my mom went back to college and graduated from Long Beach State with a degree in accounting, and did that after she had 3 kids, and did that after she helped my dad run a business. And more, the things that they did, people just don't do that stuff, and we did not take that for granted as a family at all. And thank you guys, love you guys very much, and obviously thanks for being my parents didn't always go to the College World Series. They missed a couple, and they showed up in 2014 and we won. They showed up again in 2015, thankfully, but they've been there for everywhere. They're the parents that you really, really, really would appreciate, and you didn't know you'd appreciate it. They never called my coaches. They never complained about playing time. They never really put too much pressure on me. They always cheered from afar, and picked me up, dropped me off, and really respect the way you guys were parents to us. And thank you guys, love you, like I said. My brother's here, my youngest brother. He's 11 years younger than I am. I have a sister who's 7 years younger. She's got a job. She's a teacher and has 3 kids. I talked about how long I've been out of California, and I really didn't have a lot of time with my brother and my sister because of the age difference, but just a cool kid. And I tried to get him into baseball. I think I bribed him one year with a glove and a bat and a bunch of other stuff, and he's like, "Nah, I'm going to do something different." And just the passion that he showed for his family and his 2 kids, and they're here tonight, and his wife Jackie. They've just done a great job. But same thing. It's my parents. My parents did a good job with all 3 of us, in that your kids and your family come first. And no matter what, you gotta be a great family. And I appreciate them being here as well. And my sister Danielle, she's not here, but her kids and the job that she does with them, and again going back to get a degree in education to be a teacher and to provide for those kids is amazing. I have my in-laws here as well, Fred and Sherry, and it's really cool. We were in Norman, Oklahoma, and got the job at Wichita State, and they were in a little small town in Oklahoma, so they were going to live in south Moore, or they were going to live in Edmond. They moved to Edmond to be closer to us in Wichita, and we would come any and all times. And Fred taught me a lot about money and finances, and when we got married, I had a really nice truck coming out of Pro Ball, and we traded that in for probably a minivan, I think, Fred, if that's not incorrect. But just taught me a lot about the value of hard work, what it's like to be a good dad, and really meant a lot to me because, again, although my wife and her sister were a small family, they were just so genuine and such good people, and just taught us a lot about, I didn't have a family obviously at the time of my own, but taught me what it's like to be a good dad and a hard worker, and I really appreciate that. And his wife Sherry and my mother-in-law, my wife's mom, just an amazing person to support us and to just really give us a lot of really good things. You guys are awesome. So, and your cookies were amazing always, and your biscuits and your breakfast and all the other things. But just unbelievable people. Also with us today is my sister-in-law Jessica. Jessica came with us when we I'll get into my OU story in a minute, when we left baseball and went to softball, but Jessica was a player of the year at Oral Roberts, a tremendous basketball player. I saw Coach Conrad here a little bit ago, and my sister-in-law was probably one of the best basketball players in the state of Oklahoma. 6'3", could shoot, could defend, ended up going to Oklahoma for Sherry Cole, and then was the National Basketball Player of the Year at NEI and Oklahoma City University. But really good player, but a cool and funny and an amazing person. When we go out tonight for a celebration, she did a lot of the work to get a lot of the stuff done. And she's talented and special, and has a husband named Levi who's a musician, and he's fun uncle. You've guys seen a lot of stuff. It's fun Uncle Levi, and almost 6'6". She's 6'3", and I don't know where I come into play, but I'm the little daddy, as my wife says to me all the time. But really cool family, and just really they supported us and been there for us for a lot. And then my friend Mike and his wife Rebecca came in as well. Just some cool people. Last year I wasn't here for the event. I was at a wedding with Amanda Lorenz in Hawaii, and just want to thank Courtney Deifel and Coach Hutch for the video that you guys were really trying to get me to see the induction, or be the celebration of that. That was really cool. Couldn't see it that well, but the fact that anybody went to that length to show that we were going to the Hall of Fame was just special, and I appreciate that gesture very, very, very much. My softball life has been very, very fulfilling. The athletes that I've coached, if anybody knows me, I love practice and I love my players. And I don't want to say it in that order because it's not true, but I really love to practice, and I love players that love to practice. They want to get better, they want to get pushed, and they want to be that way. And I learned that from my coaches. And I saw we had 96 coaches into the Hall of Fame before this year, and I was amazed because I know most of the Hall of Fame coaches. I thought there was hundreds of them. And to see them and the hugs and the what they've done for this game and what they've done to be able to get this on this level. I've had some influential people in my life as well. My high school baseball coach was Tommy Edwards. He drove me over to a JC and called Cerritos JC, and put me in front of George Horton, who's an ABCA Hall of Famer, and they gave me a chance to play baseball when I thought I was really good and going to be a big leaguer, and I looked on the field and they were a lot better than I was, and I was so good out of high school I redshirted my first year, so just it's part of it. I thought I was good, and I was nowhere near what I thought I was, and I really appreciate Coach Horton. Dave Serrano was my pitching coach for 3 years. My buddy here is now in softball. I think this is his 5th year in softball. Greg Bergeron, he's here. And Greg Bergeron and Kenny Gajewski and I ran around these ballparks in Cerritos, and Greg Bergeron really taught me about what it's like to be a hard worker and really what it's like to be an overachiever. And that's what I would really classify myself as, a hard worker, an overachiever, somebody who learns a lot from their mistakes and learns a lot from other people doing things well. And Bergie taught me that stuff, man. He was the true overachiever, the son of Tom Bergeron, one of the best baseball coaches in the history of California high school baseball. And he's here. And a competitor, Tony Bloomfield, actually hired Cindy at Consumas River up in Northern California, Cindy Ball Malone. But Tony Bloomfield got me my shot to go on to play Division I baseball, and I'll never forget the kind words that he said. And I don't even know how to describe my next guy, but his name is Bill Mosiello. Bill Mosiello is one of the best and the hardest working persons one of the best baseball minds that I've ever learned. He was the head coach at Ohio State. He's back now at TCU as the associate head coach. The man has taught me so much. I called him when Coach Gasso offered me the job at Oklahoma, and he said, "Tim, if you take the job, I don't think you're ever going to get back into baseball." Good. I'm glad I never got back into baseball, Coach Mo. This has been the best decision of my life. But the man has taught me a lot about what it's like to be a really good coach. To my OU baseball coaches, Larry Koshel, Vern Rule, Pat Harrison, and Sonny Galloway, changed my life. You guys changed my life. You know, it's crazy. I'll go most of my story. I got some decent little stories. I say decent, but there's some stories about my players. I was the baseball coach at Oral Roberts. Kenny Gajewski was one of my best friends. He's the groundskeeper at Oklahoma, which is, I know his story's bizarre. Kenny Gajewski is the groundskeeper at Oklahoma, calls me, and I don't know how he even got a hold of me. I didn't have a cell phone, so he called me somehow on a landline somewhere and said that Oklahoma has a job open. And I think at that time, Jen McFalls was training for the Olympics. The other coach took the job at St. Gregory's in the middle of the year. Coach Gasso was looking for a coach, and Kenny called me and said, "You know what?" So I came down and interviewed with Coach Gasso, and it was Coach Gasso and Melissa Lombardi. Melissa's the head coach at Oregon, and just such a small world. But her husband John and I traveled together to spring training. He was with the Rays, and I was with the Phillies. And so I interviewed with Coach Gasso, and I interviewed with Melissa Lombardi. We had dinner, we just talked, and Coach Gasso offered me the job. And I said, "Yeah, let's do it. I'm ready." And afterwards I said, "Are we any good?" He said, "We're preseason ranked number 7 right now." I was like, "All right, sweet, this is great. I can't wait." And at the time, my wife was sick, and it's a longer story, but she was sick, and I didn't have health benefits, and there was a lot of things going through my mind. So before I even went down for the interview, I talked to my wife about, coaching softball. And she's like, "Hey, if you feel like it's the right thing to do, I'll support you 100%." And Coach Gasso offered me the job, and I took it. And I lived with Kenny Gajewski, the groundskeeper at the University of Oklahoma, for that entire semester, while I was a softball coach at Oklahoma, with arguably, probably not even arguably, with the best softball coach in the entire world, and Patty Gasso. And I don't know how the stars aligned that I got my first job at Oklahoma. And the impacts of some of the Hall of Famers in this room, I asked Coach Gasso, she wanted me to coach the outfielders, and she wanted me to coach hitting. She didn't really say, "You're going to coach hitting." She said, "Hey, see what you can do." And so I got to stay in the cages and work, and she taught me a ton. She didn't have a practice plan, so nobody knew what we were doing. But she brought in a piece of paper, and she had everything written out. And she would spend an hour. She said, "Well, I'm going to spend an hour with the infield. You got the outfield." And the outfielders looked at me like for an hour, so we made stuff up. And she spent an hour and 20 minutes on the infield almost every time because she's hitting rockets, lasers, and the moving. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I've never seen anything like this in a practice." You know, in baseball, it's slow paced and stuff. She's in there. She's doing it by herself. There's not 7 managers. It's her and 16 buckets of fire. And I learned so much from Coach Gasso. And Coach Gasso, when I came up here, said, "I'm proud of you," and said it in the video. And the words, Samantha Ekstrand said that the other day with the NFCA kickoff. "I'm proud of you, Coach Gasso. Thank you. I can't tell you how much, especially early in my career, my first 4 years with you, and my first 3 years at Wichita State, of how much I was just making sure that I was gaining approval from you because you taught me so much and you gave me my shot." And we don't forget that. We don't forget what you gave us and what you've given this game, what you give all the young people that you've impacted. But your tree is impacting more people and the growth within that tree. And so thank you for allowing the groundskeeper at Oklahoma to give me a chance to come in and live with him, to stay there. It's so crazy and so surreal. And I just thank you for giving me that opportunity, you and Jimmy and DJ and JT, which obviously we don't need to get into the stories of Jimmy and JT and DJ of the fights that they would have at the field, but it still taught me a lot about what a mom is like and what a mom can be at a high level. So thank you for that. And then thank you for giving me the courage to call Mike Candrea. I know we've said his name a ton, but the impact he's had on this game. You said you want me to work the outfield and work with hitting, and maybe call Mike Candrea. He went from baseball to softball and did a pretty good job of it. And I called him. Well, first I watched his video. It was 45 minutes of softball at its finest. And his phone number's on there. So I picked up the phone and called him, and he answered. I was like, "What the heck is this?" "Coach, thanks for picking up that call." And it was 45 minutes, and I took notes after notes after notes after notes. And you kicked our butt that year, I remember, and I learned and came back again the next year. And just the impact you've had on this young coach at the time, and the impact of this game and the players and the coaches. You're one of a kind, and you've taught me a lot about sharing and what softball and what the NFCA is all about, and that's sharing and giving people an opportunity to learn from the best, and you're the best. So thank you for that, and thank you for giving Coach Gasso really the open door to have me call you. It was amazing. Coach Gasso for introducing us to Margie Wright. Margie Wright's one of the best in the game and been one of the best competitors ever, and to learn about prep and what pregame and what it takes to prepare yourself to play in your first national championship, and what it takes to prepare your athletes, and the ability to what Coach Margie Wright taught us. We won the World Series in 2000. We beat UCLA in I think it was a 3-2 game, and got to watch in person the best softball player I've ever seen in my entire life now, and in that day was Natasha Watley. But what Sue Enquist did after we won the championship in the single game format, and more people in ASA Hall of Fame, Don Porter Stadium at the time, more people watched that softball game than anybody before that, because Oklahoma was in it for the first time. And Sue Enquist wrote us a note, the whole entire staff, after we won, and talked about being in an elite class now, being a national champion. I think it was the first team West to do that, or East, I guess you can say, to do that. And that note impacted me. We won the national championship, and the losing coach sends you a note and says how proud they are of you and congratulations. And that was before cell phones, really. And that was the coolest and the most memorable experiences I've ever had. And I tried to write those notes as many times. Now it's text messages, obviously. But Sue Enquist, what an impact you had on this young coach at the time as well. And thank you so much for that. To my road dogs, Brian Colsey and Phil McSpadden. Phil McSpadden has more softball wins than any coach in our sport. And I'm roommates with Phil McSpadden on the road, or Brian Colsey on the road. And Brian Colsey taught me this at a young age, that softball is a lot harder than baseball, and you can't cover everything. You can't cover it all. He also taught me about Coors Light and peanuts and fiddle faddle and crunch and munch and all the other stuff. The man was the best roommate ever on the road. He'd beat me to the field or to the hotel, and he'd already have the refrigerator stocked. And Brian Colsey is an amazing human being and a great, amazing mentor. And, I didn't have an older brother, but I'd imagine he'd look a lot like Brian Colsey, because that man just would do anything for anybody at any time. And appreciate you, Colsey. You've been a lot more to me than you probably know, but I thank you so much for all that you've done for the game and for me. I wrote down, I did bullet points here of names and bosses and stuff, and there's so many people to thank. And I couldn't do this, I wouldn't be able to do this without so many. And I felt like I needed to at least, I won't tell a story about all of them, but I'm going to, Coach Gasso, obviously, I already mentioned you, but I mention you again because of the impact. I wouldn't be here without you, and we will not ever forget that. And Joe Castiglione. Joe Castiglione is the athletic director at Oklahoma, and the man is an amazing human being. He'll still send messages when I do stuff because, you know, we built a relationship, and he's a relationship guy. And Shelly Harmon, Melissa Lombardi I mentioned, Jennifer Rocha, Jennifer Jaime, or Jaime as most people would call her. I'm going to come back to her in a minute because Jennifer and I have spent more time in the dugout than anybody in any staff. We've been in closets together rearranging. We've been on the field together rearranging. We've been organizing buckets and travel and just all the things that we used to do as assistant coaches together. To Becky Endicott, who was on the Division I committee at the World Series, who I was doing a job interview at the World Series 2 years before I got the job because Becky Endicott was our host at the College World Series, and just we developed a relationship, and she's the one that hired me to Wichita State. And to Jim Schaus, our boss there, an amazing job he did in revitalizing Wichita State. Every time I go somewhere, I'll always reference the compliance person. Maybe we won't reference them a lot moving forward, but the compliance person, Corey Torgerson, was one of my best friends at Wichita State and taught me a lot about rules and regulations, but just the ability to do what they do, and thank you to Corey. Jeremy Foley, who we saw, Jeremy left me a message this morning on my phone about being into the Hall of Fame, and Jeremy Foley is one of the best athletic directors, and I hear stories a lot about coaches and their athletic director relationships, and I don't relate to them because every place I've been, the athletic director somehow knows me by name, somehow will text me or call me, invite me to dinner or brunch or breakfast. And Jeremy Foley and I do breakfast probably every 3 months. He's an amazing person. Coach Gasso gave me my shot, but Jeremy Foley was the one that saw something in somebody from Wichita, Kansas to give me a chance to do something at Florida that I really was excited to do. To Linda Teeler, who's now the director of championships at the NCAA, was my boss for 19 years. Just an amazing human being and tough as heck. UT grad at law school, and she's amazing. She taught me so much about what leadership really is. And Tony Meacham, our academic advisor. Scott Strickland, our current athletic director. He's teaching me about what it's like to be a pro and a businessman and learning how to manage finances and budgets and also still do it with class and integrity. Scott's has been such a really good blessing to be impactful with, or be around. He impacts every one of us. Compliance friend again at Florida, Daniel Siegel. Daniel Siegel and I speak at least once every week. Used to be once every day, but things have changed with the rule cycles. My new boss, Amy, we haven't spent a lot of time together yet, but just what she's done has been really good for us, learning obviously the house settlements and all the other stuff. She's a law advisor and gives us a lot of intel and a lot of detail. When I got the job at Florida, it was an early morning phone call. It was 8 o'clock, and Jeremy Foley called me on the phone. I pace when I talk on the phone. I really like to pace right now, to be a little bit honest with you. Jeremy called and said, Tim Walton, we'd like you to be the next head coach at Florida. And I said, I'm in. So I broke Samantha Ekstrand's words of advice the other day when she was giving us advice on negotiating contracts. I had no more legs or negotiation power, but I took the job. And as I'm walking around pacing, I go downstairs. We had a little bi-level basement walkout, and the alarm system goes off. I mean, it's going like when I say alarm's going off, it's going off. We got kids upstairs, and I took the job, and the alarms are going off. And then they call on to try to turn the alarms off, and it was a mess. But that was the worst day of my life at Florida. But it was really still a pretty good impression on me about how much that job meant to me. To my 2002-03 class at Wichita State, my first year as a head coach, we lost a tough game to UCLA at the College World Series in 2002. And that night, I was the head coach at Wichita State, and I called every one of those players in that roster. And I made that point to call them because I wanted them all to know when I called some of them, they didn't even know I was going to be the coach at Florida or at Wichita State. When I called them, I wanted them to know, did I think we were going to get to the College World Series? No. But I wanted them to understand what it's like to be in a championship level environment, what's going to be like, and the coach is going to call you to make that a big deal. And that team, it was tough. It was hard to turn around a 20-37 team from the year before to a 39-20 in my first year. And they went through a lot. And we all know what that first year head coach stuff's like. And I have a lot of respect for that team. They taught me a lot about what it's like to be a leader and truly learning from your players. To my team at 2005, 2006, I know Kristen Butler is here. She's that time the SEC Player of the Year in 2006. She's the head coach at Rutgers. And that team, the same thing. Your first year at Florida, you're going to try to do everything you can to change the ways, and it was tough. But I learned a lot from my players. I learned a lot from a lot of you guys in this room about what it's like to be a really true good leader, and I have a lot of respect for that team. In 2014, we were fortunate enough to win our first national championship. And the story I'm going to tell you is about a girl named Stephanie Brombacher. Stephanie Brombacher is a two-time All-American, two-time academic All-American. She's in her first year at PA school at Florida. So she's our manager. So she's a two-time All-American, a two-time academic All-American. She's a manager for us because she can throw good BP. She flew in for the national championship series, and she flew in. She's throwing BP. And I'm standing to the side, and I hear this sound. So we all have those old Osborne screens where we build them up. And so it had that little, when you throw a ball off the screen, you hear that sound. It makes a little tink. And I hear it. And I'm like, and she's walking out the field, and I'm like, oh, she must have hit her hand on the pole of the Osborne screen. Well, she's got tears in her eyes. Like, hey, are you all right? She goes, oh, no, I just blew up my bicep. And I said, oh, would you hit your hand on this? No, she goes, no, that was my bicep. So the ting was her bicep. The point of that story in 2014, we go on to win the national championship that night. That kid did everything for us. She flew in to throw batting practice while she's in PA school, which she graduated #1 in her class, is now a physician's assistant at the University of Florida in our orthopedics. But the fact that that kid would do that for us in that type of pain, and then the one thing she said after we won the championships was, it's a good thing we won tonight because I wasn't throwing BP tomorrow. and I've never really told that story in public, but Stephanie Brombacher that just tells me what it truly means to be a Gator, that you're willing to do anything and everything for your team to win their first national championship. And I'll never forget that story. Steph's got 2 kids now. Her little daughter, Riley's about this tall, and she stands right in front of the bullpen and watches every one of our girls warm up before the games. And it's the sweetest thing that you could ever see as a head coach, to watch one of your former players' kids watching your team warm up and want to be just like them. And Stephanie doing that, it's just, to me, it just tells you about, raising kids the right way, and it made a huge impression on me, and it has made a huge impression to this day as well. My next story, and really one of my last stories about my players, is Francesca Anea Brewery. So she's not here tonight. She's sick. And she texts me, she was supposed to be here on Wednesday. She texts me Wednesday, I don't feel right. And so, long story short, she's got strep throat and probably early onsets of a pneumonia. That kid, to not be here, obviously it kills her, but that kid played through 2 ACL surgeries. Her freshman year, she tears her ACL, I think 1 game past the redshirt limit. She goes on to be a 3-time All-American in the outfield because she can't catch anymore. On senior day, so it's senior day, 2010, her boyfriend at the time asked me if it would be okay if he proposed to her on senior day. And he proposed to her. Obviously, there was a lot of happy tears, and her parents were there, and it was a really, really, really big deal. And she hits a home run to break Kelly Kretschmann's all-time SEC home run record that night. And those are the memories, and she goes on to marry her husband still, and they're married, and now she's on my staff as an assistant coach. That's what reflecting like being a coach is. Being a part of people's lives, being invited to their weddings, being able to see their kids grow up, and being the impact that they are. The word coach is the greatest gift that anybody could give anybody, because it's not a gift, it's really more of a responsibility. And the responsibility is to learn from your people. And Francesca not being here, playing through 2 ACLs and going on to be an All-American with a torn ACL, her not to be here tonight being sick, it tells you she's really, really, really sick. This is where she would want to be. Lost her father a few years ago, and now she'll do the same thing that Stephanie would do, anything for the Gators. And I really appreciate Francesca and all that she does for our athletes in our program. To our trainers, our equipment managers, our managers, our groundskeepers, the hardest jobs of anybody on our staff, because what they do and what they do for all of us, they make us look better than we really are. They do such a fantastic job, and the number of people that we've had has been tremendous. Greg Tipton, Carla Niffen, Edmund Boyd, and KK Letty. KK is my right hand, I won't say my right hand girl, but she does so much for our program, and really appreciate her. To all my assistant coaches, Jennifer Rocha, obviously, she was the assistant coach at Oregon when I called her in 2002 and said, hey, I got the head coaching job at Wichita State. You want to come? She's like, not really. I don't really want to go to Wichita State. I like Eugene. And a month later, with some bribe of some Oakleys and some new gear and some other stuff, she showed up, and it was really cool. We spent a long time, 3 years at Wichita State, 12 years at Florida, and did some amazing things together. And then her opportunity everybody says to me, are you surprised that Jennifer Rocha went to Oklahoma and left your program? I said, no, I was more surprised that Melissa left, because Melissa had been there for so long and played for Coach Gasso. But Jennifer Rocha, she played at Long Beach City for Coach Gasso. She was a graduate assistant at Oklahoma. Her husband, Paul, was born in Norman, Oklahoma. And it just made sense. So for her to go back to Oklahoma didn't really surprise me. It's really what she was able to do in a 15-year cycle outside of her time at Oklahoma has made her into one of the best pitching coaches in the country now, because she's done a great job of learning from her athletes and learning from the coaches. And I've never been more proud of anybody in my entire life in the coaching career than Jennifer Rocha, because she really is the true. She was a better player than I was out of high school, because she didn't redshirt, but she ended up transferring to Oklahoma, doing her thing, and making a name for herself. She's a household name. And Jennifer, just the times that we shared, the really, 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 really good times, the bad times, the tough times when we both got whatever that stuff was from the wrestling room in Oklahoma, building that equipment room. I mean, it sounds a little personal, but it really was. It really was. The amount of time we put in together, and just as I mentioned, Brian Colsey being like a big brother to me, Jennifer is just like a sister to me forever. We've been through so much, and just appreciate it. And appreciate everything she does. And her husband, Paul, I mean, you see Paul. Paul's her right-hand man on all the recruiting trails now. He's got an OU. He's, decked from top to bottom in Oklahoma stuff. You can't miss him. But the coolest guy you've ever met, and their daughter, Ellie. I'm so proud of them for having Ellie in their lives. Just two really, really, really good human beings. Doug Chance, Seth Masunis, Tom Horton, Sandra Hall, Jeff Dabney, Caleb Sorgis. Just really, really huge impacts in my life as far as what we need to do on the coaching field and to be able to mentor young people. The next person on my thing is bolded in black. Her name is Brittany Souliard. And Brittany, the players call her Britters. I don't call her Britters, but the players call her Britters. I call her Brittany. She is most people have a director of operations. Some people there's a lot of titles. Brittany's the director of everything for us. She's our travel coordinator. She's helped me sell cars and buy houses and pick up my kids and do all the things that Brittany is probably one of the kindest and one of the hardest working. I tell her all the time, go home. She's like, I don't want to go home. I got to get my. She never goes home. She stays and works. Now she's got it worked out where she drops her kids off for their dance stuff and then comes back to the office. Florida softball. She's been with me for 19 years. Florida softball would not be Florida softball without Brittany Souliard. And Brittany, obviously, she's an amazing human being. Had 2 daughters. She did a really good job, too, having her kids both around camp season. So that was really nice. Thank you, Brittany. She did most of it on purpose, too, which is amazing. But Brittany, yeah, we wouldn't be what we are without you. And everybody knows it. So it's not like this is I'm just telling the whole softball world now how great of a human being and a worker you are. So thank you very, very much. Jenny Gladding, who you saw on the video, was an assistant for 7 years and probably one of Jennifer's a great batting practice thrower. Rocha was. I heard they don't use batting practice pitchers at Oklahoma. You got a bunch of machines now, Rocha. You're probably welcome. But she was an amazing BP thrower. Jenny Gladding is gosh, I've never seen anybody throw like she does. And Kristen Butler, who's here, and Kristen was a student coach with us after her play of the SEC Player of the Year and a 4-time starter at Florida is now. We're really proud of you, Kristen, obviously, the job that you're doing. Dr. Mary Kajowski, but Mary Ratliff is a physician now. Coy Adkins, Christina Hilberth, Kelsey Bruder, and Kenny Gajewski. And so Kenny, his fun story. So Kenny and I grew up in Southern California together. He's the groundskeeper at Oklahoma somehow, and gets into private business, and then goes to be the director of operations at Tennessee. And I tried to hire Kenny a long time ago. I was like, Kenny, you'd be a great softball coach. Let's go. He's like, no. Nobody's going to believe I can coach softball at that time he had his landscaping business. He said, I can't do it. Well, he goes in to be the director of baseball operations at Tennessee. And he called me and said, I'm ready. And he came in. We won a national championship. Well, first year was 2013. We had a really young crew. The next year we won a national championship. The next year we won a national championship. Coach Holder at Oklahoma State calls me. He was the Oklahoma State athletic director and said, hey, we're thinking about hiring Kenny Gajewski. What do you think? And I said, Coach, you'd be lucky to have him. And I meant it. And they have been lucky to have Kenny at Oklahoma State. He's done a fantastic job of revitalizing what Rich Willigman did there and being able to take that program to new heights. Everybody loves Kenny, and everywhere I've been, they all love Kenny because he's as good as there is. He's a great human being, hard worker. The players love him. He's innovative. He's done such a great job and been a huge impact in my life between him and Bergie, just two of the closest friends I've ever had. And just thanks for the advice you gave me that softball was pretty dang close to baseball back in the day, Kenny, because you're a little wrong. It's way better than baseball. And thank you. To Stacy Pestrak, Sharonda McDonald, Doug Mirabelli, Aubrey Monroe, Cody Dent, Mike Bosch, Amanda Lorenz, Kendall Lindemann, Cassidy Brewer, Charla Eccles, Chelsea Barkley, Dobbins is here, Francesca Nea, and Stephanie Van Brakel, pro throws here. Steph's been with us this semester, and she's done a fantastic job of just being not only a good mom and a hard worker, teaching us a lot about competitiveness and just understanding that there's a lot of different ways to do things, and she's done a fantastic job with our young people. And Eric Thomas has been with me now for 8 years, and Eric, thanks so much for putting up with me, and I've learned a lot from you. And we went through the exhibit hall the other day, and everybody's asking me about all the technology, and I said, whatever Eric wants, I don't care. Eric's the one in charge of all the things we do from a technology standpoint. Works our outfield. He's amazing. Done a fantastic job. He's taken our offense to new heights. And I learned how to hit from Eric. I won't lie to you. When I was an assistant in baseball, Eric was teaching me about what it takes to learn how to teach people how to hit. And I learned everything from him to go into Oklahoma and actually have a good plan. And Eric's done a great job and his family with Julie and Eric and Julie and Brett and Chloe. And thanks for giving up your dad with us for a little bit too. Jolene Henderson's here, and Jolene was an All-American at Cal, and I got a chance to meet her with the Pride. And Jolene's just if you don't know Jolene Henderson, I promise you need to know who Jolene Henderson is. One of the coolest people. Was only with our program for 2 years, but made a huge impact on what it's like to be, what it can be like to be an All-American, and just one cool, badass chick, and you're the best, absolute best. USA Softball, just giving me the opportunity to learn from other people and learn from other countries and give back to the game. A lot of people ask, well, what do you get paid to coach USA? Nothing. I just hope to lose less every year because it's such I do it for free, and we do it for free. And everybody's probably done it for free in most of the cases. But we're not doing it for free. We're doing it for the athletes. We're trying to provide the athletes with some great leadership, some great mentorship. But I got a chance to coach the USSSA Pride in 2010 and 11, which is the segue between what the Olympics were in 2008 to what the Olympics were in 2020. And I did that because of players like Kat Osterman and Megan Willis and Andrea Duran and Natasha Watley and Caitlin Lowe and Kelly Kretschmann. And the list goes on and on and on. Sarah Pauley. It's unbelievable. Jen Salling and Ashley Charters and Danielle Laurie and the number of players that we had on that team. And I did that because I was searching for how to be a better coach. We didn't have the Olympics, and how do you do it? Well, you do it, and that point in time was the NPF, and I learned so much from you guys, and I just can't thank you enough for all that you taught me and how much I learned from you, and obviously the competitiveness and the championship culture that you guys helped create. But thanks to Craig and Chris and Taraya and Trisha and Heather Tarr, Tony Baldwin and Cindy Ball, just being able to teach a lot to the young people. I'm going to close with a couple things, and again, I don't have a real rhyme or reason for the close other than to say that I really believe, I think Joe Madden hit it best when he talked about Twitter, and he said it this way. He said, I think there's a place for a positive Twitter and a negative Twitter, and you can't be on both. You should be on one or the other. And I use that to close with my reference to professional softball and USA softball. And we've got an opportunity here as a sport to host the Olympics in 2028. And I think everybody in the softball community has a commitment to the athletes to somehow find a way to find the Caitlin Clark of softball and to have sponsorships and to have an opportunity for our athletes in our country to make a living at softball, to promote the sport and do what they do so well on so many different platforms, and give us an opportunity to once again be the best sport in the entire world and hoist the gold medal back again that we've been missing for so many years. And how do we do that? I go back to Joe Madden. You can't be on both. You have to be on positive or negative Twitter. And I'm on positive Twitter. I want to make this the best 4 years of training, the best 4 years of an opportunity to provide for all the athletes in college, for all the professional athletes, those that go overseas to play. How can we somehow make the sport of softball in this country back to being number one in the world? And I think we can do it. We have the athletes. We just need some resources. We just need an opportunity to do it right. But I will close with that. And my final thing is, if you haven't seen What Drives Winning, Brett Lettbetter is one of the best and absolute personal development coaches that I've ever come across. He's taught me more about what it's like to be a coach and a human being and a parent. And I've learned so much from my athletes. And to do a speech like this in front of everybody, and I understand what someone sounds like when they're rambling, especially now. But my message to really from everybody is how much I am so deeply touched and so deeply humbled by my opportunity to be the head coach at the University of Florida and be a head coach of so many young women and give them an opportunity to be the best version of themselves no matter what. And how to that, we've only had one person in my entire career not graduate from the University of Oklahoma, and I'm working my butt off to try to get that one person to graduate. And I'm more proud of the people that we've had in our program than the championships we've won, because the people are what make us all who we are, and you never know where you're going to find motivation or inspiration. But thank you all so much for what you do for our sport, what you do for the coaches, what you do for the players. But this is truly the best organization I've ever been a part of because of the people, the shares, the Hall of Famers that are willing to go and put their neck out for you and just give you some encouragement. And what Coach Carol Hutchins did for me before I walked into this room is something that I can't tell you how impactful the really, really, really good coaches in our sport have been to me. And I'm sure a lot of you are the same. So, but thank you so much for this honor. And again, thank you to Connie and to Greta for the inspiration and the NFCA for this opportunity. This will be a great day for me to remember the rest of my life and for my family. But I thank all of you just for being a small part of it. So thank you very much. Go Gators.
Congratulations. At this time, I'd like to invite NFCA Vice President for Awards and Arkansas Head Coach Courtney Deifel to the podium to announce the Hall of Fame class of 2025.
Thank you, Kate, and congratulations to our newest Hall of Famers. On behalf of the Hall of Fame Committee, it is my honor to announce the class of 2025. If in attendance, please stand and remain standing through the announcement of the entire class. The Hall of Fame class of 2025 is from the University of Georgia, Lou Harris Champer. From Kutztown University, Judy Laws. From the University of Texas at Tyler, Mike Reed. And from the Virginia Glory, Susie Williamson.